Okay, so here's the plan. I asked you all for some niche characters that you're a fan of, and I'm going to rank-review them. I am recording this before I have gone through them, but I trust that you guys are very normal. Now, I'm going to read through all of them, but if I don't have anything interesting to say, or it's just like yeah, they're cool, I guess, I'm probably just gonna like put them bullet list kind of like here, and then the ones that I actually have stuff to say about, I'll leave in the rest of the thing. Alright, cool. Ripper from X-Blaze. So right off the bat, I really like this character's design. I think the pink jacket looks really well. Design goes fucking hard. This looks tight as fuck. From the research I've done, he seems like he's like Terumi light, if that makes sense. He kind of reminds me of Minazuki almost from Persona 4 Arena. Lots of drip, and I can understand how a character like this would be really cool. Overall, I'd give it a thumbs up and a pass. Handsome Jack from Borderlands. The only experience I had with Borderlands was split-screen co-op on the Nintendo Switch at my friend's house, so this is pretty new to me. Right off the bat, I kind of got the sense that he's like this Batman villain, like this ultra-rich person who's controlling a planet just for his own self-gain, which I thought was pretty cool. And then it got into his backstory where like his daughter killed his wife and like a whole bunch of other shit happened in his backstory that it's really fucked up. A character with a tragic past who turns to evil. It's pretty good. I'll give it a thumbs up and a pass for this one. Beatrice from Umineko. This sounds base as fuck as far as I'm concerned. She's a witch, really cool. But she also commits a lot of murder, and I want to say the joke or the plot is that people don't think she's a witch because the murders she pulls off are like so just jank that everyone's like, there's no way, like she just has to be magic. But one dude's like, nah, I got this, and tries to solve them without believing in magic, and I think that's really cool. I'm gonna give this one a witch-based as fuck. Common Writer Gridon. I just didn't know what to expect going into this. Okay, so there's a guy, and he has this thing that gives him a suit of armor. He gets beaten by this other guy, and it gets taken from him. So he goes to a different guy to get a different kind of armor that's better, and then becomes like this antagonist sort of thing, I think. And I don't get it. He's got a big old hammer, and I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna give him a probably not for me, but pretty cool regardless. OG Ocean. I'm kind of a beginner when it comes to Monogatari. I've really only watched Bakemonogatari, so my knowledge on this isn't great. That being said, I think she's pretty cool. I like the little laugh that she does, the ah-ha-ha. I think that's really funny. I see we have continued the streak of women hating Araragi, which is good, he deserves it. Overall, I think she's pretty cool, and I think she's pretty funny, so I'll give her a pass and maybe look into her more in the future. Jang from Helper. So this dude fucking dies, and he gets sent to hell for, I don't know, I haven't read it, but I actually plan on reading this one. I will be revisiting this, I think, maybe. He can, like, turn his body into a motorcycle, and he, like, fucks people up, and he seems like a pretty scrimblow guy. He seems pretty tight. I'm definitely gonna revisit this, so this is a revisit out of 10. Vil V. Honkai Impact. I think the majority of what I read can be summed up with she is a schizophrenic mad scientist, but is also a magician and has like 8 different personalities. And I think that's based. I mean, she's also hot as fuck, so. Dr. Finn from Atlas Reactor. So this scientist rolls up, says, I have a dream of turning people into fish. Turns like however many people to fish. He ran out of experiments, said, fine, I'll do it myself. Turns himself into a fish, and then becomes or I guess he was always a doctor, and then becomes like the healing class in the game? That's peak character, honestly. Kintaro Oe, Golden Boy. This is probably the most scrimblow thing I've read yet. He just wanders around doing weird ass shit and wants to smell the seat of where women sat, which is, oh lordy. I'm gonna give this one a scrimblow and a very strange side-eye. Laurent from The Great Pretender. Okay, so this first one had nothing to do with the character, but I really dig the show's art style. Holy, this looks really fucking cool, actually. He seems sort of scrimblowy, if that makes sense, but more in a chill way. Like, the way he delivers his line is like the super chill, sort of suave, but he's saying some really dumb shit, and I think that's really funny. Final rating is another revisit out of 10. I will be revisiting this. Frank West, Dead Rising. This one I just think is kind of funny, mainly because I'm always a big fan of journalist-esque characters, if that makes sense. Like the idea of someone who puts their life on the line just to give people information or pick up a big story is always just so interesting to me. And this character hits all those exact same beats. He shows up to a place, survives the entire zombie outbreak just to get the story to expose the US government, and then just nothing becomes of it because there's other news in the cycle. So overall, pretty good. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. Akiha Tono from Tsukihime. Okay, I think I like this one, but at the same time, it does give me Japanese siblings that are really too close vibes, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing. That being said, she's a heat vampire, which is kind of tight if you think about it. And she seems like a pretty okay-ish character. I think it's cool. I think Tsukihime is cool. I'll roll with it's cool for now. Ben Hargreaves, Umbrella Academy. I was told specifically to look at the comics for this one, and I think that was a really good choice. First off, the power system is fucking nuts. He just summons actual eldritch creatures from his skin, which means that eldritch creatures exist in this world, like canonically, because it's not like he creates them, he summons them, which is really funny. This seems really fucking cool. I'm all for this. I actually haven't read Umbrella Academy. I might revisit this. I'm putting this on a potential revisit. Hey, Darker Than Black. Okay, so he has a sister that he's really close to and would do anything to protect. Insert incest joke here. And merges with her, which is more concerning, and gets her powers without having to fulfill the deals of the contract made for those powers. And then he's like really edgy and like tries to solve the mystery of what's happening with all these double contracts basically. I don't think this character's for me, I'm gonna be honest. He seems cool though, I will say that. He does seem cool. Hiroya Matsumoto. Special Duty Combat Unit Shinesman. If I understand this correctly, there's a alien empire who wants to control Earth through capitalism, basically, and starts a TV company. So, to fight back, they start another TV company and create a series of TV shows with superheroes who are actual superheroes. And this guy just accidentally joins the superhero league because his dad worked for the same company. This is so convoluted. This seems really funny. Okay, so I ended up watching the entire series. Oops. This is like the funniest thing ever, especially with the dub. This is hilarious. Like, the main cast is a bunch of just actual weirdos. I think the girl is like my favorite because her only character quirk is that she accidentally crushes things that she holds. And like the other favorite one is like this guy, because he just nonchalantly is like, no, I actually took care of all of this, and just gets roasted for it. And I love this thing. It's free on YouTube. Please watch it. Holy shit. Masumi Seki, Good Night Pun Pun. So I know this series is actually semi-popular, or at least I guess it is with how many times I've been recommended it. So I've actually taken a good look at it this time. I think I like it. I'm not so sure. From what I've read about this character, they seem genuinely interesting, and I feel like a lot of their, I guess flaws is the best way to put it, is generally compelling, though I feel like I need to spend a lot of time with this character to generally appreciate them. I'm not the biggest fan of more, like, I guess quiet stories, if that makes sense. I typically like something big to happen. But I think I'll take a look at this one. It seems like it has some pretty decent characters. Nikaido, Doro Hey Doro. I've often seen this series compared to Blood Blockade Battlefront, which is one of my favorite series of all time. So this feels like something I probably should have watched already. From the little I've seen, she seems really badass. I mean, she like kicked the crap out of these guys. That was really cool. But I don't know much about who she is. I don't get a big feeling of what or who she is. Like, even the wiki wasn't much help. It basically just says she's nice, but sometimes she is stressed, which is, wow, crazy. I'll give this one a hesitant thumbs up out of 10. Yukido Satoru, Remember 11. Doing research on this character was very difficult, because unless I just actually got the visual novel and played through all of it, there's no way that I could get a grasp of this character. Because the wiki on this person is literally 3 paragraphs long, I kid you not. They seem pretty cool, but honestly, I could not find this individual almost anywhere. Like, their main theme song doesn't have any comments explaining their character to me. How am I supposed to get information about this character? I think they're hot, so I'll give them a hesitant thumbs to the side. Soma Cruz, Castlevania. Okay, this seems tight as fuck. He, like, kills monsters, steals their souls, and is able to use it to bend to his will. Not only that, but he, like, accidentally wanders into the fact that he is the literal reincarnation of Dracula. I don't know much more other than this character, but that as a starting point is fucking tight as hell. So I'm gonna give this one a definite thumbs up. Moon U from the webtoon. Moon U. This is, I think, one of the funnier things I've read. Essentially, the guy believes the Earth has been destroyed because he saw an asteroid hit it while he was on the moon, and is attempting to kill himself, but accidentally improving his life along the way while trying to kill himself on the moon. It is so backward and so funny with these amazing screenshots. I like this one. This one's pretty funny. Xion from King of Fighters. Xion is a femboy, and they believe in human spirit, but their only notable thing is that they're a femboy. Thanks, man. Thanks for this. Zero from Katana Zero. Okay, this person is a war vet who's going through some stuff. Apparently he hit his head really hard and caused him to go a little schizo. It feels very Hotline Miami, at least, the way he's kind of treated with like a handler who tells him, hey, do this job while he's dealing with mental problems. I probably need to play the game to actually understand exactly what's going on, but I like it. I mean, I like Hotline Miami, so I figured I'd probably also like this, huh? Now that I've gone through all the characters, I think it's right about time that I say this. Some of you all have very good taste. And other of you have very different tastes from my own. But in the end, the thing that makes most stories is the characters inside of them. And so long as you know what you like and you enjoy these stories thoroughly, then who am I to say if they're good or bad? Except for this one. This one's a piece of shit.